I had called upon my friend Sherlock Holmes upon the second morning after Christmas, with the intention of wishing him the compliments of the season. He was lounging upon the sofa in a purple dressing gown, a pipe rack within his reach upon the right, and a pile of crumpled morning papers, evidently newly studied, near at hand. Beside the couch was a wooden chair, and on the angle of the back hung a very seedy and disreputable hard felt hat, much the worse for wear, and cracked in several places. A lens and a forceps lying upon the seat of the chair suggested that the hat had been suspended in this manner for the purpose of examination. That's the beginning of the Sherlock Holmes story, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. Now, I don't know if there was a lot of Christmas mystery stories before that one, but that one kind of started something where writers matched up Christmas with mysteries. You know, be they cozy mysteries or hard-boiled mysteries or otherwise. But to me, Christmas is a good time to read mystery stories, and they just seem to go hand in hand to me. I know there's a lot of booktubers within my little circle of booktube that are featuring ghost stories of Christmas, and that's entirely valid as well. A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite stories, and I read that every year. But I also think that Christmas is a good time to read mystery stories, and it's a different feeling at Christmas when you're reading these things. And I do have a lot of Sherlock Holmes Christmas stories, but that was the only one that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote that took place during Christmas. But many authors came afterward and wrote Sherlock Holmes Christmas stories, and I'm going to feature some of them and some other well-known Christmas mystery stories by other authors. But let's get started with some. And I've shown these before, and I'll probably show them again. But this is Holmes for the Holidays, which is an anthology edited by Martin H. Greenberg, with that awesome cover that I love so much. And there's some great Christmas stories in here by Anne Perry, Lauren D. Estelman, Carol Nelson Douglas, Edward D. Hoke. The Lauren D. Estelman story in here is called The Adventure of the Three Ghosts. So you know that ties into Charles Dickens one way or the other. And these are just a lot of fun to read. Now, I'm not going to, these books that I'm going to show you, I'm not going to read through every one of them this Christmas. But what I'm going to do, and what I have been doing through the month of December, is just picking and choosing throughout all these books, stories that I want to read for Christmas and just getting that cozy Christmas feeling. So that's Holmes for the Holidays. And they followed that one up with this one, More Holmes for the Holidays, again edited by Martin H. Greenberg and featuring stories by Anne Perry, Lauren D. Estelman, Edward D. Hoke in here again, Peter Lovesey, L.B. Greenwood. Just great Sherlock Holmes Christmas stories in here, and they make me happy reading these, and this is a great time of year for it. Now, there's a publisher out there called MX Publishing, and I think the main editor's name is David Markham, and he's responsible for publishing at least 48 or 49 now. I think he's going to stop at 50, but there'll be 50 big anthologies featuring Sherlock Holmes stories, and here is one of them. And these feature Christmas stories that feature Sherlock Holmes. And I think there's maybe 3 of them available, if not more, in the entire series of Christmas stories. I only have this one, but, it's a lot of fun. And these books feature unknown authors. There's also some well-known writers who have contributed stories to this series. Now, these are all available on Amazon in hardcover and softback. Just, some great stories in here. Some aren't so great, but there's a lot that are really pay tribute to the character and the writer, Arthur Conan Doyle. They do a really good job. Now, these don't feature anything supernatural. They're basically canonical style stories, because if you know Sherlock Holmes, he didn't believe in the supernatural, and nothing supernatural happened. If there was something that seemed supernatural, he would find legitimate cause for it. that wasn't of supernatural origin, but these are a lot of fun. And they just instill that feeling of Christmas when you read these stories. Now, the next three I have are full-length novels published by Titan Books, and I've shown these again before, but these are written by James Lovegrove, and these are Sherlock Holmes stories, Christmas books. They released one a year, and I think there's only the three of them. I don't think there's been any more since, but this is Sherlock Holmes and the Christmas Demon by James Lovegrove, and these are just beautiful books, and obviously set in the Christmas season. And James Lovegrove, he does a good job on these. I can't really complain about his writing. He seems to get the characters of Sherlock Holmes and Watson very well, and these are very festive, a lot of fun, and they always have a good mystery for Sherlock Holmes and Watson to solve. The second book was The Beast of the Stapletons, and this was a sequel to The Hound of the Baskervilles, and again set during the holiday season. And if you just want to get into that feeling, I mean, these are highly recommended, these books. And the last one, the third one, The Three Winter Terrors, and this is three stories within this that tell a connected mystery over a span of decades, if I remember correctly. I haven't read this since last year, so it might be due for a reread this Christmas season. And those are just beautiful books. And James Lovegrove, he's a good writer. Now, these next aren't Sherlock Holmes, you might be relieved to know, but I've got a couple of anthologies full of Christmas mysteries by some famous authors and featuring some well-known characters. This is a book called Murder for Christmas, and that's a Gahan Wilson cover, and he actually has cartoons throughout, which is kind of an odd pairing with mysteries, and he's got these funny cartoons throughout, but it kind of works. It's a big, beautiful Christmas book, which I love. And, it's got nice title page. I'm going to try to find one of the cartoons to show you. They're kind of funny. There's one where two cooks are terrified of the pig with an apple in its mouth. It's a ghost come to haunt them. So, yeah, it's got stuff like that throughout, but it's got some great stories. There's 26 short stories in here, and some of them are fairly famous Christmas stories that you might recognize, and they get reprinted a lot in these anthologies. Of course, it reprints The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle by Arthur Conan Doyle, Agatha Christie's Hercule Poirot stories in here, The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding, and it's got Stanley Ellen's story, Death on Christmas Eve, Baynard Kendrick, Silent Night. It's got an O. Henry story in here, A Chaparral Christmas Gift. Georgia Simenon has a Megre's Christmas. Charles Dickens, To Be Taken with a Grain of Salt. Ellery Queen's famous short story, The Adventure of the Dauphine's Doll. Carter Dixon, better known as John Dixon Carr, has a story, Blind Man's Hood. And again, Edward D. Hoke has a story in here, Christmases for Cops. So it runs the gamut of cozy all the way up to hard-boiled mysteries in here, and they're all Christmas stories. So they're a lot of fun to read. And again, I probably won't read them all. I'm just going to kind of pick and choose throughout all these books what I'll be reading this month and what I have been reading. And I got this book for Christmas, I think last year or the year before, and you've seen this before. I think other booktubers have featured it, but this is the Big Book of Christmas Mysteries, and this is edited by Otto Penzler, and I love these big books. I have a few of them on my shelf. They're a lot of fun. They're just beautiful looking volumes, well put together. So there's a lot of stories in here, and they're all divided into categories. So the first category is A Traditional Little Christmas. Next is A Funny Little Christmas, then a Sherlockian Little Christmas. And it's got Edward D. Hoke's Christmas Client, and it's got a story by S.C. Roberts, Christmas Eve. So that's the Sherlockian category. Then there's A Pulpy Little Christmas, with stories by John D. MacDonald and Norvell Page. An Uncanny Little Christmas. So those who like, supernatural elements in their Christmas stories, mixed in with mystery, that's a category that should be a lot of fun. It's got a story in there, A Wreath for Marley by Max Allan Collins, and The Haunted Crescent by Peter Lovesey. And then A Scary Little Christmas, which might be supernatural stuff as well, but got stories in there by Peter Robinson and Josephine Bell. And the next category is Surprising Little Christmas, with a story by Stanley Ellen. A Modern Little Christmas, which features Ed McBain's story and All Through the House. And I know that's been reprinted elsewhere as well, and that's a famous short story by Ed McBain. A Puzzling Little Christmas. So that has stories by Mary Higgins Clark and Isaac Asimov and Ed Gorman. And then the last category is A Classic Little Christmas, with stories by G.K. Chesterton, Rex Stout, Christmas Party, his famous Nero Wolfe Christmas story. And there's an Agatha Christie story in here, A Christmas Tragedy. And of course, Otto has his introduction, and these books have the double columns, which I just like the look of. And it's a big book, and I've yet to read every story in there, but maybe this year will be the year that I'll read every story in this one. But that's what I wanted to share with you. We still have Christmas decorations to put up and a lot of things to prepare. It's a busy time of year, but I hope that everyone gets a chance to sit down and relax and read a cozy Christmas mystery, because there's nothing better. So I will talk to everyone soon. Everyone take care. Keep reading. And if I don't talk to you before then, happy holidays. Take care.